Okay, I think we are good to go. It's all right. Yeah. Okay, so what I was talking about was giving a brief introduction about navan.ai. We are headquartered in Singapore, and we have partners all over the world. We have employees, including myself, across different cities and countries. And we mostly help businesses. Currently, we're helping B2B businesses to automate different workflows for sales and marketing. And one of the other things that we also do is help businesses with buying signals to make their outreach process more data driven, more intent driven. So, in a nutshell, that's what we do. That's who we are. And today we're going to be talking about one specific part of marketing and how to automate that, which is inbound marketing, right? Usually, we don't talk a lot about inbound marketing because we focus more on outbound. That's something that's within our control, and the results are more visible, right? With inbound marketing, it's usually a long process, and it takes a while to see the results. So, but yeah, there are ways to automate that process, because what happens is, because it's a long process and because it takes time to see results, people lose motivation, people lose interest, and when you have to do those tasks manually, right? So one of the things is, if we can automate that, it saves a lot of time. That's one thing. Secondly, it can open up a thousand more opportunities for you, because it's driven by generative AI, and automation is something that we do using N8N. So today we are going to be talking about that, and specifically within inbound marketing, we're going to be talking about backlinks, right? Generating more backlinks for your business. Anyone here today who has been working in the inbound marketing space, or trying to generate more backlinks or so on? Anyone who would like to share their experience? How do you go about it usually? You can just unmute yourself and speak. That's fine. All right. Since there's no response, I'm assuming you guys want me to speak about it. All right. So I'll just share a little, right? So what happens with backlinks is, okay. So before we get to that, the main agenda is talking about backlinks, understanding how backlinks work, and then we'll see a demo on N8N on how to automate the process of getting more backlinks, or the process of finding more opportunities where you can add backlinks. And then the last part will be question and answers, and then networking, right? So moving on to the first part, which is understanding backlinks, how these work. There are typically two types of backlinks. One is do follow backlinks, where bots basically follow those backlinks, and it's kind of helpful for SEO. It's kind of helpful for getting your website ranked better. The other type of backlink, which is again more common, is no follow backlinks, where although the URL may be present, may be visible, but crawlers don't really follow those backlinks and go to some other website, or where that URL is leading, right? So these are two main types of backlinks. Now, usually and preferably, you would want to add more do follow backlinks, where your I mean the impact is visible more prominently. But what happens is, obviously, if you're a website owner, or if you're running a blog, or if you have a website, what you will usually do is that you would have no follow backlinks, because you don't know who is trying to get backlinks from your website, and then you want to keep a check on that. So that's the other side of that's usually the kind of backlinks that you will see at most places, which are no follow backlinks, right? Now, although no follow backlinks may sound like they are not helpful, but still, if someone reads that, or someone reads that content, or checks or sees that URL being there, if a person, I mean, when I say someone, I mean a person. If a person looks at it and sees that, then if they find that content useful, they'll still click on that backlink, and they'll be able to go to your website. They'll be led to the website, right? So although no follow backlinks may seem like they're not very helpful, but practically looking at it, they are still helpful, and that's also something that you should try to add, right? So Obviously, if you get an opportunity to add do follow or follow backlinks, that's great. If not, no follow backlinks also partially at least are helpful. It's not like they're not helpful. All that effort is waste at all. So those are the two types of backlinks, right? Now what we're going to be automating, and this is something that we tried for ourselves as well. This is something that we wanted to do for ourselves, and we started from there. So what we're going to be talking about today, and in terms of the automation, what we did is that we wanted to find opportunities where we could add backlinks, right? Now, the biggest problem when you want to add more backlinks is finding forums, finding websites, finding any opportunity available on the internet from where you can drive traffic to your website, right? So that's the biggest problem that most of us face when we want to add backlinks. So what we did is that we tried to automate that process by creating a workflow which takes into account certain keywords or certain phrases which are relevant to what you're trying to talk about, or what your website is trying to talk about, what you're trying to sell maybe. And based on those keywords, it looks for relevant opportunities in terms of websites or medium blogs or articles and so on, and then it lists them down, and it also creates a content that you can post on those at those opportunities, at those blogs, on those blogs, um, which will ultimately create the backlink, right? Could be a do follow, could be no follow backlink, depending on the kind of backlink that that property is allowing. So that's the gist of the workflow, of how the workflow would be like. But I think Malavika would be the right person who would be able to explain more in detail how the workflow works, what's the input, what's the process, what's the output, and so on, right? So before I hand it over to Malavika, I'll just introduce her in a sentence or two. So Malavika is our AI engineer. She works at navan.ai, and she is the go-to person for any N8N automation that we want to implement within the organization, and for our customers as well. So she's a pro at N8N, and she's been working on N8N for quite a bit of time. So over to you, Malavika, and you can explain more about how the process is working. Yeah. Okay, so before just Malavika continues, the next webinar that we're going to be talking about is going to be an automated proposal generator using generative AI and N8N. So I don't want to divulge more details on that. I think Malavika has already shared the links in the comment section here, so you can go through the links and you'll be able to get more details on that. You can even register for that. Now, I'll just hand it over to Malavika to continue the workflow for inbound marketing, for generating or for finding more opportunities where you can add backlinks. So yeah, I'll stop presenting here, and Malavika, you can share your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Varun. So, hello everyone, I'm Malavika, and today, like Varun said, so we'll be understanding how to build a workflow that will help you search for blogs in your niche and then with certain keywords. And then once you extract the content of the article, we'll be putting them through OpenAI to generate a comment that actually adds value to that article, right? So, I'll just share the N8N platform and then I'll just continue. Yeah, so I hope it's visible to everyone.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So at once, say you search for blogs like for 5 keywords that is related to your company or your product, then you'll be able to get comments generated for at least 300 articles. And then over the week, you can post like 50 every day. So then over a few weeks, you'll be able to see traffic coming to your website and thus resulting in branding for your product and your company. So how we'll start off is that if you want a workflow and N8N to run without your intervention, so you activate it, activate the particular workflow that you are building. So for that, let's use a schedule trigger. A schedule trigger is that it runs at a scheduled period of time, say every Monday 8 a.m. Right? You have multiple options. You have you can specify the seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, anything. But the something I really like is the custom cron operation. So this expression, it allows a little more flexibility, like from Monday to Friday, every 15 minutes from 9 to 5, if I want to run a workflow, then for that I cannot choose the normal options. I have to have a custom expression that will help me uh, exactly how to run the workflow. Okay, so I'll just show you that screen. If you can find here, it will help you in getting the right expression also according to your need. So if we click this, you'll come to this tab where you have multiple examples that's already there, that's more frequently used. See, like every 10 minutes or 15 minutes, every 5 minutes or something like that. So I'll just go to any one of them, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'll just go to every day. I'll just show an example, right? So this makes sure that it runs like every day at 12 a.m., right? But I don't want it to run at 12 a.m. I want it to run, say, at 8 a.m. Then, as you see, the hour, I'll change the hour to 8, and I want it to run only on Monday, 8 a.m., right? So I changed this to 1. As you can see, this ensures that the workflow begins at 8 a.m. on Monday, and that's all. That's the only trigger. Every week, 8 a.m. Monday, right? So you just have to copy this, and then you go back, then you have a schedule trigger, and you paste your expression. That's all. So if you execute this, that will execute it. So this is mostly whatever trigger you use when you are in a test environment, you can just execute the workflow and test out. But if you're say in the production, and you cannot just come back to N8N and always execute the workflow and make it run. That is a tedious task. So you just activate it and it will do its job on its own. But the next part is the most important part. We'll be attaching a Google search scraper to this, right? Now, for this current workflow, I'll be using something called Serper. Serper is a Google search scraper that helps you search. In this situation, it helps you search for the articles that have open comments, right? Now, since I don't have a designated node for Serper, I'll be using the HTTP request node. So for anyone who is not aware, HTTP request, basically it sends a request to that server requesting access to that article, the content of the article, right? So right now I'll just uh, get the URL for that, right? So this is the search URL for this particular tool, Serper, right? And once you're done with that, you have to send in certain query parameters. So the query parameters will include your search query, the number of articles you want to retrieve, the timeline, the time range between which you want the articles, so and so. And the most important thing, obviously, is your API key. So this API key is basically the connection that you're forming with the server, right? So let's have our query here. So for now, I'll just do outbound marketing. Outbound marketing. And if I want to search for blogs that have open comments, I have to use leave a comment in double quotes. So this will ensure that it searches for blogs that have open comments, right? And once I have that, I'll be using an API key. Just FYI, an API key, normally you don't share it with everyone. Right now, I'm just showing it to you, and I can change it later on. So you can always generate a new API key, but that is something, it's a secret key, right? So yeah, we have our API key. And whenever you have these variable names, you have to remember that you cannot choose whatever you want. You cannot just write query here. If the particular tool mentions that this is the variable name, then that's what you have to use. So you have your API key, and then you have a number, which indicates the number of articles. Say in this, now I want just 5. And then the parameter that looks for the time range is the TBS. So TBS is to be searched, the full form. And for that, you just have This is the value that you normally give. Curia, that's fixed. And if you want to search in the past month, you'll give an M. If you want to search in the past year, you give a Y. If you want to search in the past week, you give a W, right? Now I have given my query parameters. I have given my API key. I have given my URL. Now, if you see, I'll execute this, and that's all. In the organic results, that's where we have our output. So if you'll see, I asked for 10 articles. For each of them, I have my title, I have a link, I have the snippet, I have the date, I have the position. So position is not really necessary right now. So date, if you'll see, all were posted in the past 1 week, because I have given the condition that it should be taken from the past 1 week. So that's how I've taken them, right? If you'll see, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 6 days ago, all of them the same way, right? So now we have our 10 articles. Now, as you can see, all of these items that are there, or you say the article bits, they are all a list of items. They are as a list of items. They're not individual rows. So when we want to deal with each and every link and scrape through them, get the content and all that, so we have to split them. So splitting helps us in dealing with them as individual items. So for this fields to split out, we have organic. So once we give that organic, it'll make sure it'll look through all the fields. If you want to specify only a specific field, selected other fields, I just have to give link. So this will make sure it scans through all the 10 links and just, oh, I think, yeah, I'm sorry. Right. Fields to split out, it will split the organic variable. And then if you'll see, we have 10 rows here, right? So I was talking about the next node that we'll have. Generally, here I have in the HTTP request, I have used uh, yeah, so in the HTTP request right now, I've searched Google for outbound marketing and all that. What if I want to search a particular site like Medium or Quora or Reddit or something like that? So then I'll have multiple HTTP requests and then I'll just combine them. So that time there are chances that some of the articles uh, may be duplicates. So just to make sure that we don't have any duplicates, we use this remove duplicate node that just makes sure that all the articles that we are passing to the next node are unique. So we don't have to let our OpenAI run multiple times on the same thing, right? So we choose this, remove items repeated with the current input. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. When we compare, we use selected fields here. So we just give link here. So this will make sure it checks all the 10 links and it sends out the unique ones. It will remove the duplicate ones, right? So if you run that here, as of now, we don't have any duplicates. So all 10 items are out. Okay. So once we have that, then there is another field that is optional. This is something I always prefer in my workflows, because when we have complicated workflows and we want to send data to the next node, we want to change the structure. Say, suppose I had my email, I didn't want to send the whole email, I wanted to send just my domain. Then this node will help us extracting the domain and only sending that. So this is used to manipulate the data. It's used to change the structure of our data. So right now I'm just showing how it works. You can give your own variable name. Right now I'm just using whatever there is, the title, the link, and the snippet. That's what important right now. We don't need the date. We have the snippet. Even snippet is not necessary. We have that. So if we run this, we'll be able to see that we don't have 5 fields for each row right now. We'll just have 3. That's what I've taken. So after this, when we want to extract the content of each of these articles, we use a HTTP request node again. So we connect with the server and we are trying to retrieve the content of the articles. So since I have 10 here and I'm just testing it out, I'll limit it. We have a limit node. So the limit node, it enables us to choose how much ever we want. You don't need to send all 10 of them. Since I'm testing out, I'll be sending just one. So if I'll execute this, you'll see there's only one row that will go ahead. After that, if there are multiple articles, you use the loop node. right now, since I'm using only one, I'm not using the loop node. I'll just attach a HTTP request node to this. And since I'm reaching out to the server of the article, so the particular website, so I use link. You just drag it and drop it. So that will be a URL. Now, one thing to remember is that a lot of websites now have very strict bot protection. So if you want to bypass the bot protection, there are uh, uh, some values that you can give in your headers. You don't need to remember them, but there are multiple values that you can give in the headers to make sure you bypass these bot protections in most of the websites, I would say. So right now, I don't remember by heart as to what it is. So I'll just copy paste the values right now. We have user agent, and for that, the value is pretty long. You don't need to remember that. You can just search up and you'll be able to find. This is just so that the server is tricked into thinking it's not a bot but a human that is accessing, right? So we have user agent, we have something called accept, and uh, does anybody have any doubts? Yeah,
Yeah,
Ajay.
I think Ajay has. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hello.
Ajay, do you have a question?
Am I audible?
Or can can you repeat? I could just hear one or two words.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
you're
audible.
audible.
Yeah, okay. The header parameters, the value that you have given, it's like
Mm.
the browser value. Where can we get these values? Is it already present from system? Do we need to
Uh,
check it outside?
So I just searched, or in Google you can just search and you can you'll be able to get that, like user agent, as to what value you can give for the user agent. Normally this is a fixed value mostly that's people use in their headers. So if you just search it up, you'll get it.
Can you
Okay,
paste
sure.
the same in the browser, in the chat?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
would be
sure.
helpful.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Can I just share it after I'm done presenting the entire workflow, if that's okay? Okay. Right. So once I have this, we have accept language. Yeah. So yeah, something like this. And then once you're done executing, you'll be able to see an output like this. So this is a very confusing format that you're able to see. This is the raw HTML content. So it's not human readable. So you want content that we can read it. So you have to clean that data first in order for you to be able to understand the article content and also feed it to OpenAI so that it is able to generate a comment according to that content, right? So once that is done, I use this is an N8 native node only that is used to extract the HTML content. So yeah, so here we have some variables that you have to fill in. A key is just the output variable's name. So I'll just give it paragraphs, or you can say output, anything, whatever you want. And CSS selector, normally in the code, the P tag is where the main content of our article will be, which is why I'll be using the P tag. And I want the return value, I want it in text, and I want to return as an array. You'll see as to why I'm returning as an array. You can just, yeah, this is the same thing. And once you run this, if you'll see, I have the content of the article. So why I have returned it as an array is that this p tags, you don't have the whole content in one p tag. You have it under multiple. So I'm extracting all of them and I have them all as separate paragraphs. Now again, you cannot send it to OpenAI because again, it would be confused as to why there are multiple paragraphs. So you want to combine them into one single paragraph that is understandable by the AI, also AI agent that we'll be using. So for that, again, I'll be using a very small piece of code, nothing complicated. I'll just be combining. It's just a small JavaScript code that I'll be using. This code, the gist of it is that I'll be combining all these paragraphs, joining them, and giving it under the variable article. So if I execute this, you'll be able to see we have our paragraphs and we have our article here, right? So you can see the difference. Now it is something that we can feed it into our AI agent. Sometimes there may be situations where you would not be able to extract the article properly. So I prefer using an if node just to make sure that my OpenAI credits don't get wasted on empty articles, right? So you just have to use drag the article variable, and you have an option here to choose string is not empty. So just to make sure that my string is not empty, I'll choose that. It goes in true because obviously it is not empty. And then comes the main part, which is our OpenAI node. So in the OpenAI node, once you're done, once you're connected, given your credentials, you have to choose your model. Right now, I'll just use 4O Mini. You can choose whatever you want. 4O Mini is a good option if you're using for something like this to just generate a comment, right? Okay. So in the OpenAI node, you will have your user message and you also have a system message. So user message will include the input value that we will be feeding it. So here article, the variable article, which consists of the content, is what I'll be feeding, right? I tell it that I've given it that. So for the system message, I'll be asking OpenAI to take up a role and to understand the content and to draft a comment that adds value to the article, and it is also subtly talking about your company and your product also. So I'll just I have the prompt here and I'll just show it to you what I have used, what we have used for our use case. Yeah. So we have this here, right? So I'm telling it that you're a marketing specialist from navan.ai, a GenAI deep research and automation solutions provider, helping B2B businesses to automate their marketing and sales processes. This is what I'm telling it. That's its role. And then I've given the article, and then I've given it multiple points just so that it understands how it should approach the content article and how given your system message as well, and you execute this, it'll just take a few seconds. Just a few seconds, and then we'll be able to see the output here. So now, as you can see, I don't know what is the content of the article, but I was able to get a well drafted comment for that. If you can see absolutely fascinating insights. It's clear that content marketing is evolving rapidly, especially with so and so and all that. After I'm done adding to that article, I've also added about navan.ai. So, and also you can always add an open-ended question at the end. What are your thoughts, or what do you think is the best tool for this purpose? Something like that. Open to interaction, basically, right? So once you add something like this, so people know that, okay, you know the field, you know the art, you know the content, or you know the tool. So once you're done with that, you can save this content, you can save this comment. You can add a Google Sheet node after this. You can save that. We have the Google Sheet here. Google Sheet node. We have the append row, update row in sheet option. So this will help you in saving the comment in a Google Sheet. So right now, if you'll see this whole process, with just one click, I can activate. I have given here, I've asked it to fetch only 10 articles. But say I want to fetch 100 articles, and I switch it on, the trigger switches on at 8 a.m. So without my intervention, it is able to read through 100 articles, generate comments for them, and save it all for you in the Google Sheet. And you can copy this. If you can see, all you have to do is, you don't need to build this workflow again. You copy it and then you paste it. So you have another workflow right here. The same thing. and you just have to change the keyword, and then you have to, like that, you can have 5, run them at different times and save them all to your Google Sheet. So you will have 300, 400, 500, how much ever articles you want, for how many ever topics you want, all of them stored in the Google Sheet along with their comments. So yeah. And then you can just post them over the week. So that is how we can automate this whole process. I'll just share the headers also.
Yeah, so while Malavika is sharing that, first of all, thanks, Malavika. It was quite insightful, helpful, I assume, for people who are joining. And while Malavika is sharing that those details, we can take up questions. So we are already at the end of our time frame. We can start with the questions if anyone has any. Does this mean
So
there are? Yeah. Please go ahead.
there are there are questions. All right. So first question is like this will uh, read the articles based on the industry. Where are we defining the industry? Because maybe I missed it, or maybe it just like goes search through the Google openly and finds the top articles about any industry. So are we defining specific industry anywhere?
So here, what we're doing is not defining the industry, but we're defining certain keywords. So in this workflow, if you saw in the beginning, Malavika added the value which says outbound marketing. Do you see this here on the screen right now? Under
Uh,
the query parameters.
okay, outbound marketing lead. Okay, Q,
So
right?
that's what we are looking for.
Leave a comment. Okay.
So
So you
instead of outbound marketing, if you are looking for say like say CRM maybe or say anything, right? I mean, depends on your business. So whatever is
Hmm.
relevant for your business, you can just change that those phrases, and it will look for that data. Yeah, Malavika.
yeah, that's it. You can just change your keywords according to your interest, and you can also add a site. Say if I want to select only from Medium, the articles from Medium, so after outbound marketing, add site Medium, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's suggested from Medium.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hi Malvika, Manish this side. There's one query I'm having.
Yeah, sure, Manish.
Malvika, we were adding the URLs from our end, like HTTP URLs, correct? For extracting the articles.
Yeah.
Now, can you guide me like how we would be able to, like, let's say, for example, if we were using the sub tool, suppose then how we were able to make the domain authority, like how we can validate that, yes, the domains are authorized and they are valid. I mean, is there any method or something which can help us? Because if we were like adding these from our end, like there is an activity again we were doing. So
So Manish, on the if you're talking about DADR, I mean that's the context. Then I'll just add to that. Or if you're talking about the validity of the domain, like if there is content on that at that domain or not, then probably Malware can add. But for the DADR part, what I can tell you right now is that we are not considering that right now in the workflow. What we're trying to do is that we're looking for as many opportunities as possible, irrespective of the DADR of that website, of the referring website.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All fine.
there are actually tools that will help you get the DA value also of that, and you can filter through these articles. That is, you can just add to this workflow. So you can just filter through these, check the DA, and maybe say above 75 if you want. You can do that also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam and Anu, we'll be sharing this whole workflow, the JSON file on our YouTube, and we'll be posting the webinar. I think you can access it from there. right, Varun?
Yes, correct. So just coming to that, the YouTube video will have the link to, I mean, the description will have the link to the file on the drive, so you can take it from there. Any other questions? Any suggestions, even feedback, anything that you'd like to share?
I mean, this is question is not related to this activity that you just performed, but it's related to scraping. Is it possible to scrape G2 site?
Which side?
G2 review
G2,
site.
yeah. So
Yeah,
G2 is a site where mostly you'll find reviews for certain softwares and
yeah,
companies and so
exactly.
on.
Yeah,
I don't think we've tried it yet, but maybe Malavika, you can check it out, and probably we can get back to Salman on that.
Yeah, I can try it out.
sure, please do. I'm like, if you can do it, I mean, if you're able to do it, just do share the JSON and the method with me, because I tried with multiple different, like scraping tools, right? But I couldn't do that.
Okay.
It always blocks me.
Yeah, sure.
Did you
I'll just
try it, Salman? Did you try it directly, or did you try it through third-party tools?
I tried with scraping B. I tried with Scraper API, but couldn't do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
yeah. No,
Any
this
other
any
questions?
yeah.
Thank you so much. It was really helpful.
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely try to execute it and see how it works.
Yes. Yeah. And if you have any doubts, you can reach out to us.
What is the best way to reach out to you?
We've shared a link in the chat, so the pinned comment has a link to schedule a meeting with us.
All right, so calendar app, right?
Yes, the calendar app, the
Okay.
Google Calendar app.
Okay.
Just schedule a
Okay.
meeting.
Join our
with-
WhatsApp community as well.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Mhm.
Just one more query,
we have
Malvika.
link.
Malvika, once again, Manish this side.
Yeah. Tell me, Manish.
Like we have the comments at the moment. Like, can we post these comments on the social media? Like, I do not want to do it manually with the workflow.
Okay, so I'm actually working on a workflow. I have one. So it's for each social media website. They'll have a different uh, access. I would say, like Reddit, you can do that. Reddit, you can have a similar workflow wherein you're able to scrape the post, draft the comment, and post it automatically. In this case, because there are multiple websites and all that, it's not easy to get access and post it automatically, which is why we're doing it manually right now. But like you said, for each social media there are APIs that allows you to post them automatically also. I hope that clears your doubt.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine.
Any more questions?
No, Varun.